the fourth one is to consider providential circumstances. In other words, how has God led you in the past? How has God led you in the past? Consider how God has been with you before. And Deuteronomy 8 and verse 2 says, thou shalt remember all the way which the Lord thy God led you. You should remember all the ways that God led you. And God will then help you. And God will, this is how you learn from your mistakes. This is all about that. So that, there's a good quote somebody told me. We're doing a corporate training for us at the health department in California. And she said, failure is neutral, she says. It's your relationship to failure that makes the difference. In fact, if you know how to relate to when you make a mistake, you can learn from it, and actually even your failure can become an advantage. If you learn from your mistakes, you can actually use them to create for yourself a better life. So she says, consider how providential circumstance, he says, and David and Goliath, I talked about this yesterday, is a good example. Remember when David goes to fight Goliath? And Saul says, you can't do it. He says, listen, I was watching my father's sheep, and a bear came. And I slew the bear, and a lion came, and I slew the lion. And this uncircumcised Philistine shall be as one of them. So remember, how has God led you before? When your family was in trial and in difficulty, or when you were struggling in school, how did God lead you before? Consider how God has led you before, because those are things that you consider. And Jeremiah is a bad example because he runs from Jezebel right after he slays all the prophets of Baal. So he should have had less fear of the queen than he did of all of those prophets, yet he had his providential circumstances, remembering backwards. And I challenge you again to keep a prayer journal of things you ask for, and when God answers your prayer, check them off. You'd be amazed at how that builds your faith.